The Lord has high protection over all of you, whether you realize it or not. His hand of protection is always over you and working for you. The Lord is not mocked. He will repay those who've done you wrong. Maybe it's been a while. Maybe you haven't seen anything happen to them. Maybe you don't even want anything to happen to them because you've forgiven them. But God doesn't forget, and He remembers, and He will repay, because that's the type of God that He is. When you do wrong, there is repercussions for it if you don't repent. And a lot of these times, these people, they don't really have it in them to repent. They don't really have it in them to want to change and to want to do better by you. They want to feel like they got away with it. They don't believe that there is a real God. They don't believe that there is anything that anyone or that's going to make them pay, because they feel like they're just that big and they're just that mighty, that who's going to make them answer for anything? They're that kind of people. So it will take a big God to make them answer for something. They feel they have everybody deceived with all of their manipulations, with all of their castings of spells on people, and they feel like who's gonna take them down? They're so strong. They're so spiritually strong in an evil sense, and they feel like who is going to take them down or gonna make them pay for what they did to you? Well, God will, because He sees everything. He sits on high and looks down low. His Holy Spirit is also within us, sees everything. He knows everything. He's the inside man, and He's the one who's on top, who has the overview. So nothing gets past God. And so if you're concerned that you haven't seen anything happen to any of the people who've done you wrong, don't be. God knows what they did, and God will make sure they answer for it. I was working at one of my jobs, and my manager, she says, "We have a spy amongst us." This is in one of the meetings that we had. And so in the meeting, she's looking around the table and she says, "Oh, we have a spy amongst us. She records everything. She remembers everything. She's got a photogenic memory." And so she warns everybody to not talk to me and to not associate with me. Now, this all stemmed from the fact that I was fairly new on the job. I'd only been there maybe a few months, but others had been there for a couple of years. So I saw them eating at their desk, and I saw them putting their foot up and drinking at their desk and socializing between calls and carrying on like so. So when I saw this, I thought, well, maybe it's okay to eat, have a snack at my desk, or like a candy bar or something to tide me over until lunchtime, because I saw others doing it. So she comes around and sees me eating my candy bar, and she wants to say, "Well, you can't do that during working hours. You eat on your breaks and on your lunches." Well, I'm looking around and I'm seeing others who have been consistently eating and drinking at their desk and propping their foot up on the desk and talking however they want to talk between calls, because we worked at a call center. And so I'm like, "Well, I've seen others do it." And she's like, "Well, who have you seen?" And when I point the person out, she'll walk by the desk but turn her head the other way as to say she don't see anything, you know? And so I'm just like, this person right here is eating at her desk. Now, this person was caught red-handed. I mean, she had food wrappings and trash all over her desk. Her feet was propped up on the desk. Everything that we were not supposed to do, this person was in the middle of doing. But this supervisor decides she's going to turn the other way and act like she don't see what this other person is doing. Other people who had food and wrappings on their desk, she turns her head, looks the other way, as to say, she don't see nothing. She only sees me. So it became very clear. Okay, you're singling me out. You're singling me out to do this too. And you're trying to write me up. Now, the whole reason of her attacking me like this is when I first started working on that job, when I was in training, the lady looks at me. She sees that I'm burned and I have scars over my face and my arms. And she says, well, at least nobody has to see your face when you're working here because you're behind the scenes and you're on the phones. It hurt my feelings. I didn't know who that I could go to at that time because you're brand new, you're in training, and you don't want to lose the job. You want to keep the job. So for that reason, I didn't say anything. I just was like, I'm gonna suck it up and I'm gonna just be as patient as I can and try to get through this. Well, she continues to berate and harass me in front of the crew that were also in training. And she makes it seem as though she starts making comments like, you know, this is a high turnover job. A lot of people don't make it past 6 weeks after getting trained in. They can't take the pressure. Some of them don't even pass the training itself. And so she's trying to indicate that I am going to be the one to fail and I'm going to be the one not make it through. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to do everything I can to make it through. I would get there early, and even though I was early, she would be late and accuse me of being late because she was late. Now, when the others came in later, she don't have nothing to say to them. Of course, she has nothing to say to them, but everything to say to me. So I'm just like, okay, I see what's going on. And so she then puts me on the worst computers because some computers work faster than others and some would glitch a lot. So she would put me on the one that glitched a lot so that it would take me longer to try to pass my test and I would have to retake them if the time ran out. So I came in one day and the door was open. She wasn't there. I was the one that was early there. This is God. I went on in, booted up the computer, started my test. I got on a computer that worked smoothly and was able to complete my test and submit it just as she was coming in the door. And she's like, no one's supposed to be on the computers yet. Well, I had already finished the test, thank God. And it was already bloating up that I had passed that or finished that course. And I felt like, I did pass it too. I got the answers right because she had made me take it about 2 times before. So this time I knew what to put down. So that helped even better. So I was able to get through with it even faster. And that made her mad. Oh, she was mad. And tried to treat me like I broke some rule or not. And I was in the wrong somehow. I had not broken any rules. I have the right to pass my test as everybody else. And because she was trying so much to sabotage me, God gave me that opening and I took it and ran with it and ended up passing the training course. Well, okay, she is just hot mad. So she starts spewing all kinds of lies about me to the other people and making it seem like I'm a troublemaker when I wasn't. All because I didn't bow down to her complaints and her abusive words to me. You know, she was a fairly attractive person, okay? But she felt like she can make me feel low and small because my face was scarred and burned. She felt like she can make me feel like nothing. And she felt like I was just supposed to just be a quiet mouse and take it. Well, I didn't balk back at her. I didn't try to get back at her in any kind of way. But what I did do is just when I had opportunities to get ahead and to get my work done, I used it. And I got ahead and I got my work done. This is something that she desperately did not like. This really early in the morning. My first time being out here this early in the morning. It's about 7 a.m. in the morning. And I always see everybody else get up and get out and go about walking. But I always try to stay in. But this time I said I'm going to get out early too. I'm going to get out early and I'm going to enjoy this too. So this lady goes and she starts spewing all kinds of lies against me to her other workers. So they're giving me bad vibes, these evil vibes, because of what she said. So I'm at lunch and I'm at peace, you know, and I'm eating my lunch and this lady comes up to me with this yellow note tab that says smile on it, and comes and slaps it on my counter. Well, for one, I wasn't angry at anything. I was at peace in my own space. And she says, well, I see you frowning. It looked like you was frowning today. And instead of being kind about it, she's sarcastic about it. And comes up in this hasty, huffy way, slaps down this sticky pad on my table that says smile, and then she tells me to my face, why don't you smile a little, and then walks off. So with that was enough. Now I went back to the training courses, and I continued because even when you finish the 6-week course, you're still on a probation course with one of the supervisors on the main floor. You're not left to do the calls by yourself. So I went back to my second form of training on the main floor, and one of the ladies came by and she's like, started explaining that if you have any issues with anyone, this is to the whole team, not just to me, letting them know what our rights were and what we can do. So with that, I didn't report the earlier stuff because that's already done and passed. But I reported number 1 star. God bless me. Thank you, God. And God bless you all. Number 1 stars. God bless you. So with that information, I took it down and I reported about the lady who slapped down that sticky pad and told me to smile in this really harsh way. And I reported her. Well then, and I reported that I feel like it's because of the other lady who did abuse me, but I didn't report the fact that what she mentioned about my face being burned and how nobody has to see my face, because I felt like that would get her fired, because I'm not the type of person who just wants to get back and to see somebody fall and crumble. I showed mercy to her. Even though she didn't show no mercy to me, I showed mercy to her. So once that got reported, things changed a little bit. And this lady, I could see that she was in hot water, and she was hot mad at me, very mad at me that it got back around, that she was the source of all this meanness happening to me. So then she starts getting my main the supervisor who was training me in on the main floor, turning her against me. See, the devil doesn't want to let go. He doesn't want to give up, and he doesn't want to let go. So she starts turning the supervisor who's training me in against me. So she starts trying to find excuses to write me up And this went on for some time. And I would switch from supervisor to supervisor and constantly being written up for obscene things that I never did. Things that were just pure lies out of a pure hateful source. So with that, and I'm trying to get this in because not a lot of people haven't been out here, haven't seen the pier. And it's early in the morning and it's not congested. So with that, I get to the main supervisor that I'm on right now. Well, not on right now, but the main supervisor, because I left that job. So once I get to this main supervisor, who's been there longer than everybody else, knows everybody. She's like the head honcho type supervisor that if she wants you gone, you're gone, if you get my drift. So I'm with her, and she's starting to write me up for every and any little thing and overlooking what everybody else is doing, but only want to come at me when I'm doing it and saying that it's against the law and against the rules only when I'm doing it, you know. So I then take it over her head to her supervisor. So now they get involved and they're just like, well, these are the rules and you have to follow the rules. Well, I said, well, everybody else is also doing it. So the head supervisor over the head manager over the supervisor that I'm with, she comes on the floor and she doesn't announce when she's coming on the floor. So she catches a few people in the act of what they're doing. And then she makes it so that what was spoken against me, it wasn't an actual write-up against me. So that got dropped because everybody else was doing it. And so it was like this mandatory thing sent around to everybody that they can't do it. And if they're caught doing it, then my supervisor that's over me, she could get in trouble. So yes, I know, but we're just going to take a sneak preview. So with that, she gets scared. And so in one of the meetings that we were having, she says, oh, we have a spy amongst us, making me out as the enemy because now she's in hot water for being discriminatory against me. Now this is a black woman and I'm a black female, but she wants to treat me like she wants to treat me in a discriminatory way to get back at me for what this trainer said to her about me. And so this is the problem with when you got people.
Sorry, the park is closed right now.
I just want to do a film.
No, I'm sorry.
Okay, I'm gonna go. I'm sorry. So she then.
Sorry about that. We open up soon. It's just we can't have people here right now.
Okay, no worries. Gotcha. So she comes. I got a little bit thrown off my thought. You're welcome. So she comes and starts treating me like a spy and treating me like, oh, you can't be here. You can't. Oh, nobody should trust you. Nobody should listen to you. So with that, everybody turns against me and feels like I ruined everything for them. So with that, I then had to keep to myself, and it was extremely painful. And then on days when we had to have we had to let others sit at our desk. I forget what it was called, like musical desk or something like that day or week. So we wasn't able to sit at our assigned desk. We had to make sure everything was cleared off of our desk for others to sit at our desk. Well, there was one who didn't want to clear off her desk. and it was the only desk available at that time, so I sat at it, and I had to move some of her things to the back of the desk. Well, she complained about that, and of course the supervisor wants to get on me. Why am I touching other people's stuff? I said her stuff wasn't supposed to be in the way. So when she got on me, I of course had to take it over her head again and report on her that I didn't take anything of anybody's, but I just moved it to the back because it's supposed to be I forget what the term of it is, but it's something like musical desk day or something like that, where we weren't able to be at our assigned desk. So she did not like the fact that I moved this person's items, and she decides she's going to use that against me and try to write me up on that. Well, I went over her and I reported that the person wasn't supposed to even have this stuff on her desk like that and in the way of everybody else. I needed that space to do my own writing from my own tools. Well, because of it being what it was, and it was like this whole work thing that everybody was supposed to adhere to, I was found in the right. I was found in the right, and she didn't have that against me. So then, with her not having that against me, I'm just trying to get it all in for you guys, because this is kind of like a vlog too. With her not having that against me, she got hot mad, and of course just was hostile with me. And anyone could say anything about me. She didn't care. Customers were abusive, and when they get too abusive, you're supposed to get some kind of support from that. No support for me. I mean, nothing. So this went on for a couple of years. This hostility, it was so painful. I felt sick coming into work. I felt like drained. I felt like nobody was on my side. This had gone on for so long till I was physically sick. It was mentally taxing on me in the mornings. I mean, I could not like see myself continuing to do this job. It got so bad. I didn't care whether I lived or died. It just got that bad. Well, she ended up, okay, let me set it up this way, the way that I found out. So I come in one day to work, and everybody, I'm looking at the emails, everybody is just quiet and frantic, and I'm looking at, and I pull up my computer station, and I see this email, like urgent email, saying for everybody to pray for this supervisor who was being evil to me. Pray for her, desperately pray for her. And I'm like, what is going on? Come to find out, I'm getting ahead of myself again. Let me back up just a little. I know this is getting a little bit long. So a few years of this harassment going on, she gets a burn on her leg. Now this is not what the email was about. So she gets a burn on her leg, and she sees me in the downstairs bathroom, because we worked on the third floor. So she sees me in the downstairs bathroom, and she tells me about the burn on her leg, and tells me, oh, she knows how much pain I must have went through, because this burn on her leg is very painful. She was doing something with her fireplace, and it sparked a huge fire blaze, and it burned her leg. So I looked at it, and she asked me to pray for her. So in my heart, I'm like, God, I know if I pray for this lady, if she turns against me, something's going to happen to her. I could feel it in my heart. My heart was already pounding when she had asked me to pray for her. So she asked me to pray for her anyway. So I go on ahead and I say a prayer for her. And I also say a prayer that she does not turn against me this time. Please do not turn against me. You're making it seem like we're making some turnaround here, and you're trying to do right by me. She's making it seem like she wants to make amends with me right now. I pray that she doesn't turn against me, because I felt in the center of my heart something bad was going to happen to her if she did, and severe. Lo and behold, about 3 days later, I come into work. Everybody is panicked. Nobody is hardly saying nothing. It's unusually quiet. You know what I mean? And frantic. This frantic energy. I get to my workstation, boot up the computer, and there's this email message, urgent email message. Pray for this supervisor. And as I look into it, it doesn't say specifically what, but just pray for her. And then the one who was substituting for her, he fills in the details and says she had a major heart attack. Because I have been praying for her heart to change and for her heart to turn towards me and in a good way. I have been praying for her to have favor towards me, because I knew you can't pray evil against somebody. God does not like that. So instead of praying evil against her for what she was doing to me, I prayed, God, change her heart, work on her heart, that she has favor towards me, that she starts treating me better, that it's easier for me to come into work. Well, when she did what she did, she had a major heart attack. She had to have surgery, emergency surgery, on the spot because of what she had done. And she nearly died. She nearly died. And with that, people were so angry with me. The hostility, the hatred. I would hear people saying, I can't believe God chose her. Like, can't believe God chose me. These were words that I heard coming out of their mouth. They cannot believe that God would choose me over this lady who had been there for all this time, whom they assume is the good one and is the one in the right. They can't believe God would choose me to favor me over her. Well, then they were staring me down in my face, looking for anything. And I knew they were looking for anything to fire me for. Not to just write me up, but they wanted to fire me on the spot, because they were just that angry over the fact that this lady got a heart attack. It's like they knew. I don't know if she told them that I prayed for her or whatever, but it's just like they also kind of knew what was up, that she went against something, and instead of it going the way it normally goes and me just having to suffer through it, she had to suffer through it. Now, instead of me getting fired, she comes back, and she's after about a month, she comes back, and you know, she's saying that she might return to work, or she has the option of retiring. And she doesn't want to retire too early, because then she can't get all of her money like she wants to get. So then they started these surveys, sending these surveys around, and I, you know, to say how do we like the supervisor and everything, I put all zeros. She tried to come back in to butter me up and act friendly again, and act like nothing happened, and act like she never did what she did all these years. And so I put all zeros. I was like, no, I don't want her back, because God put it on my heart. He said, hey, don't try to be nice to her. put all zeros and get her off this job, because he wanted her off. She had gone too far, and he almost wanted her dead, but he gave her mercy. So I put all zeros. With that, she was angry, and she resigned and was off the job. So then the hostilities against me continued. The hostilities against me continued for a good 2 to 3 months. Like, they weren't about to let it go. They hated me over that. So when that happened, I continued on, and then the next supervisor, she's of course writing me up left and right over nonsense stuff. My mother ends up getting cancer, and I put in my notice because I'm thinking I'm gonna go out there and take care of her. But then my supervisor, she talks me out of it. And so with that, I knew that she was setting me up to fire me. She didn't want me to leave on my own. She was setting me up to fire me, because now the write-ups are even 3 times as much. So I know she's gonna make it look like, oh, look at how much she's tried to help me with my cause, and things just not changing, and make it seem like she's legit gonna fire me. So I could already feel it coming. I work another 3 more months, and then she calls me from one of my calls and says, I've got enough against you to let you go. And I bring my purse and everything with me and sit down with her, and she calls the head manager over her to sit down with us. Well, now with all the stuff that's going on, the manager that's over her kind of has a little bit of favor towards me. And thank God that God will give you favor in high places. So she then starts saying how this and this happened, and she got all these write-ups on me, and she tried to work with me, and it's just gotten to the point where, because of this last write-up, she's gonna need to let me go. Well, I said, well, I would like to just resign. And she tried to talk like, oh, I don't have that option anymore. I said, well, I did ask to resign 3 months ago. So the manager over her asked, is this true? And she said, yeah. I said, yeah, I asked to resign, to put in my notice 3 months ago, but she talked me out of it and made me stay. Well, so the manager said, since that is the case, that you did ask 3 months ago, we're going to honor your request to resign. And so instead of me getting a dishonorable fired from the job, where she really wanted to think that she was the one who nailed me and kicked me out on the job on my behind, I was able to walk out with honor. Thank God I was able to walk out with honor. And that pissed her off. So as she's walking me out, her heat, her anger is so over the top that she can't even stand it. And she looked like she wanted to try to fight me, or try to find any excuse to have me put in jail for something. Because she said, you know, I'm gonna walk you out, and if you get violent, I can put you in jail. So she's hostile with me, and she's trying to get me to do something so that she can then have legal rights to put me in jail. And she's telling me I have no rights to come back on the job. If I come back on the job, then she could they're cute. Then she could also throw me in jail for that. I had no desire of ever coming back to that job. But she's saying all this as she's walking me out the door in this hostile way. And so, number 7. And so I finally get to my car and I feel relief. I felt so free. I felt so free. I didn't worry about anything. Didn't worry about the money. Nothing. I didn't worry about my apartment. Nothing. I felt free. And this is how God will protect you and cover for you. You may suffer for a long time. You may go through a lot of suffering. But God, He will protect you in a big way in the end. They had been tag teaming against me. One manager to the next manager to the next manager. She was supposed to be the one who had the heart attack, was supposed to be the one to do me in. But when that didn't happen, this other lady gonna be slick and she gonna try to be the one to do me in. But even in the final day, up to the final wire, that did not work. I still was able to walk out with honor, which made her angry as hell. She could not take it and did not like it. So that is that. Just know that even though it doesn't look like things are changing and it's going through long sufferings and you feel like, does God see, does God know, does He even care? He sees, He knows, He cares. But sometimes He'll let things build up a little bit because He wants to get the full vindication for you. He wants to really nail it to these people who was wrong to you. And He wants to make sure you see it and everybody else sees it. Everybody on that job knew why that lady had a heart attack. They knew it was because of all the stuff that she had done to me. And now it finally all came crashing down on her after she had asked me to pray for her. This is like Job. When she went through all that he went through, his and these so-called friends said all that they said to Job, tried to make him feel like the problem. Well, in the end, Job had to pray for his friends. He had to pray for those people in the end for their lives to be spared, because God was angry with them for all that they said against Job. God still favored Job, but God was angry with them for how they talked to him and did not say the right thing that they should have said to Job. So just know that your pain is not in vain. Your pain is not in vain. And God will recompense you. He will take care of those who mistreated you. You do not go through what you went through in vain. Okay? And just know that He favors you. It may look like the enemy is getting ahead and getting away with something, but He favors you. And with that, you all be blessed and take care. Just a few scenes that I would like to share. I ate here before, but the food is just okay. It's not what you think. Okay, signing off.